Hello Leo, this is a timeless reading for you. In the middle of your spread, we have the High Priestess. I feel like this could be you, or it could also just be someone around you that you're admiring. I'm getting a good feeling from the High Priestess here. The High Priestess is surrounded by the moon, the Judgment, the star, and the Six of Pentacles. I feel like this is a very spiritual time for you. There's a lot about your intuition, your psychic or spiritual gifts, your wisdom, your knowledge. Of course, this is what the High Priestess usually is speaking of. And I feel like this is really, maybe you might be going through a time where you have a lot of questions about all kinds of spiritual truths. Or you used to have a lot of questions, maybe for many years or decades, and finally you are receiving some answers, not by reading books, but by developing your own inner knowledge. The Moon card is in the unconscious position, so it could be that you are not even yet aware of these secrets that used to be hidden in the depth of the sea. They are finally diving towards the surface. They will soon be visible. You might be like the wolves, howling at the moon being asleep, ignoring this could be you praying for answers, feeling that the answers are not being answered because whoever you're praying to, like God, is asleep. Sometimes it feels like that not all our prayers are being answered. But maybe this is not where the answer is coming from here, from what you're howling at, but the answer is just right in front of your feet, slowly crawling towards you. You are not aware of it yet. And that's why this card is in the unconscious position. In the conscious position, we have the Star card, and the first moment I pulled this, I immediately thought of vulnerability. And you are very aware of that. I feel like maybe due to some heartache, disappointments, you have closed off yourself for a while. And maybe you even closed yourself off from yourself in a certain way, or from some kind of spiritual source or guidance, because you were afraid of certain answers and you couldn't receive them. But this is something that you are very aware of, and I feel like you are slowly starting to open yourself up. She is naked on this picture, and I just see that as a metaphor for not literally being naked without clothing, but being honest with yourself, but also being honest with something outside of yourself or someone outside of yourself, showing yourself to someone the way you are. This could be something that you have had issues with, probably for a very good reason, and I feel like you are softening up about that. It also has a certain playfulness to it. She's playing around with this water, and it feels like, she has these two water cans, and maybe we can't see it properly here on this image, but maybe somewhere here in the front this water is flowing from two sources, is flowing into each other. So this reminds me of intimacy, like melting into each other. This could be about a friendship, a relation, any kind of relationship. And this is something that you feel like you want to grow into that, or you have already grown into it. And by being in this state, you might really reach this kind of inner knowledge, this inner wisdom of the High Priestess. The Judgment, this also feels very spiritual to me. It could be that this is some kind of judgment on a personal level, but it feels more collective. It could also be you making a judgment about certain social settings that due to your spiritual knowledge, spiritual experiences, you are making a judgment about the world the way it is in general. I feel like this judgment is not being made upon you. This is the High Priestess making a judgment. Or already having made the judgment and seeing the results of it. The consequences of this judgment. It is like two qualities that appear to be opposing but are not. Like there is this gentleness, playfulness, being vulnerable, yet there is something strict, something serious, making a judgment. Both of these feel to me like they are your qualities. The Six of Coins, this is as an outcome or realization. I feel like you are the standing guy in the Six of Coins. And I'm not getting a positive feeling from that. I feel like you could decide to breadcrumb someone, not in this evil way, but someone who has breadcrumbed you or someone who was treating you very unfairly. And you have seen through that and, finally stood up for yourself, but for some reason, because we are living in societies, we have to be polite towards each other to some extent. This is often just how society works. Maybe you are forced to be around someone at work. Maybe you like your job, you like your colleagues, but there's someone with whom, you have had your problems. And maybe you just, you were the one who was always balancing everything out and just let this other person be whoever they were towards you. And you accepted it because you thought you had to, so that there would be a harmonious work environment. But finally you figured out that this person just doesn't respect you. So you inwardly have to close yourself off and just give them the most necessary that you have to give them. That's what I mean with breadcrumbing. I don't mean that in a toxic way. And let's just say maybe at one point if this was a colleague, you told this person a lot of personal stuff and you realized they were not handling it well and they gossiped about it. And due to that, you have learned that you will, just breadcrumb them with words, not tell them anything about your personal life. Just say hello, and if they try to draw you back into a conversation, you will just, find your way out of it quickly. Stonewall them a little bit. Just give them the most necessary answers, no personal answers. And, always talk your way out of it. Just keep it, stick to small talk. This is just an example. It doesn't have to be in a work situation. It could also be something in your personal life, in your private life, that you will decide to, either with words or material things or any other kind of attention, you will only give them what you have to give them, but not more. But yet you want to stay in this very tender energy of the star. Very open, but not towards the wrong people. This is also what the Judgment and the High Priestess, they both together, this is what they could be about, like developing this kind of very sharp discernment about towards whom you can be in the star energy and towards whom you have to be in the Six of Pentacles energy. At the bottom of your deck, at the bottom of my deck, but your spread, we have the Justice card. So this is just a confirmation. The Justice has the scales. The Six of Pentacles has the scales. This is, you know, literally about justice, but it's also about balance. And the scales on both pictures are straight. We have a sword in this Justice card as well, cutting unnecessary stuff out. So it's just a confirmation here with the Justice card. So I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching.